Hey, I think we should work on a different key. What do you think? We've been hitting A like crazy. Just want to make sure everybody's got that down. I think we should shift over to the key of D for a little while. And I intend to make a backing track or like a jam track that you can play along with. But first of all, let's make sure everybody is playing the D blues scale. If you like, if you want to, I recommend it. It's going to be really cool. I'm going to make sure the camera's going. Yeah. Playing the Les Paul. This is the 1970 Les Paul. So anyway, to play in the key of D, let's just hit a D string just for a second. Cool. I'm going to kind of move a little bit slow and be thorough here. I want to make sure that you're getting this sound internalized. That's a word I use a lot. Alright, but I'm not going to be too slow. Let's get into some fun stuff. This is going to be your index finger, 10th fret, 1st string. That's a D. That's your root note. So that's really important that you, for now, if you're just getting used to this, you probably are going to end your phrases on the root note. Then it's going to sound like you're in the key of D. So I'm trying to condition your ears to being able to pick this sound up just by hearing, if somebody's tuning, you can hear that's their D string, or tune by ear, or even pick out songs in the key of D. Yeah. Alright, let's get moving. This is going to be 10 and 13 on the 1st string. That's a D, F, D. Make sure you can move back and forth on those with index and pinky. If you want to be a hot dog, you can do some hammer-on pull-off. Alright, D, F, D. Remember that. Now we're going to go to 2nd string and do the same thing. That's A, C, A. So those look the same, 10, 13 on both strings. But notice when you stop on D, we can tell what key we're in. If you just kind of randomly move on those, which I do hear people play with no sense of what the root is, it's hard to tell what key we're in. So that's just 4 notes, but it really makes a lot of cool sound. You can also bend this C up to a D. I'm using 2 fingers to push. And on the 1st string, we can do the same thing. That's F bending up to D. 2nd string. So make sure you can do a little bit of that. I'm keeping an eye on this camera because I just filmed this once and it didn't really take. So let's go to 3rd string. This guy is going to be 13, 12, 10, which is a G sharp, G, and F. That G sharp is a dangerous note. But that's what makes it the blues scale. Super cool. So I was kind of changing my fingering around. Make sure your pinky's involved, ring, maybe even middle. That's a bit of a stretch. You know, just do what you can. But I recommend pinky, ring, index for a standard playing. And there's our D root note again. 4th string, 12th fret. So we're tuning your ear for that. Try the octave. 12, open 12, open 12. You could throw an open G string. Cool, man. So remember to end on that D. I'm telling you. All right. Then check this out. D, C, D. C leads to D because that's your dominant 7th to the root. It pushes, kind of like. On that, you want to land on the D again. If you land on the C, it sounds kind of like you missed the target. I mean, it's very cool to miss the target, but first I want to make sure you can hear that. So I'm going to say again, C leads to D. Also F leads to D. Make sure you're learning these notes. Then we can communicate. Then we got 12, 11, 10. That's A, G sharp, and G. Then we got F, D. 13, 12, 10 on the 6th string. Did we talk about this bend, the G bending up to an A? So if I'm picking a little faster, I'm doing some alternate picking down up. If you do all downstrokes, it sounds like this. You can kind of hear that peck, 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 peck sound. Peck, peck, peck. And alternate picking gets pretty fluid with practice. So you got 3 bends. You can also bend this F a little bit. That sounds way cool. Eventually we'll start extending up and down. You can figure that out. Let's just remember what we got here. It's F, D, C, A, G sharp, G, C, D. Excuse me, F, D. So again, that's F, D, C, D, G sharp, G, F, D. That's the whole scale. The whole neck is loaded with that stuff. Like here's a F down here. That's part of the scale. And D up here. That's part of the scale. And between that on every string, you'll find, again, it's F, D, C, A, G sharp, G, F, D. I could show them all to you, but that would wreck all the fun. You should figure them out. Draw them out, memorize it, I don't care. Use your tuner, look it up, I don't care, but make sure you know the whole neck. All right, you do that, and I'll start working on a backing track or like a jam track, and we will rock out. Thanks.